Oh, yeah, I'm on my way, I'm coming. Don't lose faith in me.
They call it a season, but it's really a test, challenging the believer inside you, casting shadows of doubt on your incandescent light. But you fought for the right to be here now, and you're still looking up and forward.
Let's go take what's ours.
For more.
Hope. What's my definition of success?
Oh, filthy!
Something no one else can.
Hope moves in waves of possibility.
Brave enough to dream big, big. Dreaming more when you got nothing.
Out of the body, into reality.
Texas A&M slaying giants!
The dream come true is showing what you can do and be together.
A place they've never gone before.
Turn pain into power.
Playing for each other, not for anything else.
Darkness into fight.
What an evolution.
There are no limits to your light.
We were kind of doing it for that little girl that believed that it could be on the stage.
You're the one afraid. I'm the one in charge. I'm taking up. Reigns.
This is hope.
We are going to the Natty. Let's freaking go!
The NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship.
Kansas City is ready to crown a champion. One of these two teams is going to have the best day of their life. Texas A&M and Kentucky getting set to play for a national championship. A season of work, blood, sweat, and tears has come down to this. Let's go. It's time to crown a champion. Courtney Lyle alongside ACC Player of the Year, Katie George, Olympic bronze medalist, Holly McPeak. Maddie Fitzpatrick is on the sidelines for us. And guys, it was exactly 3 weeks ago today that we revealed the bracket, and now just 2 teams remain.
This is what you dream of as a little girl playing in a national championship. Holly knows what it's like to hoist that trophy. Both of these teams are incredibly deserving.
Grit and determination is what it takes to get to this point, but today's going to be a bigger test. Both teams have been in really tough situations all season long and have responded.
Well, let's start with Kentucky. They're a #1 seed, and they were actually the first SEC team to win a national championship.
In 2020, Kentucky won the national championship. They've established themselves as an elite program. They went 18-4 in the NCAA tournament and are on a 27-match win streak. Today is a huge test for them.
For the first time ever, we have an all-SEC final in this Texas A&M program. What a season they've had.
Completely different from the beginning to the end. They have been the hottest team in the NCAA tournament. They truly have caught lightning in a bottle. It seems like they get better with every single match they play, and they have had the hardest road here. They have the reverse sweep against Louisville. They slayed the Dragon in Nebraska, at Nebraska, and then they were dominant Thursday night against Pitt. I can't wait to see what we've got in store from Texas A&M today.
It's going to be so interesting because obviously these two teams, they both play in the same conference. They're familiar with each other. So an X factor. Do we feel like it's the setters?
Definitely. And freshman of the year, Cassie O'Brien, has stepped into a huge role for Kentucky, taking over the offense. She needs to come out with confidence. She needs to push the pace. But better yet, she needs to set up her big guns. Brooklyn DeLay, Eva Hudson, keep them in system. The dynamic duo for Kentucky is facing the best blocking team in the NCAA tournament.
Well, Holly, on the other side, Texas A&M setter Maddie Walk runs one of the fastest offenses in the country. Take a look at how fast she sets this ball to Logan Lednicki. When you run a fast tempo offense, it's hard for middle blockers to keep up. She shoots the ball to the pins, gets her middles in one-on-one situations. Look at this seam she creates for Stowers. That hole in the block makes Kendall Stowers' job so much easier. Maddie Walk constantly puts her hitters in position to succeed because of her pace and her location court.
The setter is like the quarterback in football, and these two quarterbacks have plenty of weapons on the pins. Both of them have multiple arms they can go to. It is going to be a lot of firepower in this one. For Texas A&M Madison, they're a 3 seed. This has been such a historic season for the Aggies.
And there's a theme here. Head coach Jamie Morrison asked his team throughout this season, how will you respond? And so far in this tournament, they have responded no matter the circumstances. 2, we came back and reverse swept. We won in 5. He said we've been up 2-0 and we won in 5. He said we swept. So no matter the circumstance, he said if we continue to respond like we have, if we play with joy like we have, if we play A&M style volleyball like we have, we will win. Courtney, A&M is ready to go, but what it comes down to is this: can they respond one last time?
On the biggest stage too, Madison. Craig Skinner knows what it's like to coach in this. As we said, he won a national championship in 2020, but remember, that was when they played in a bubble. No crowds. This is a different feeling. Holly, you've played in a national championship. What are they feeling right now?
A lot of nerves. I mean, this is a huge stage, a huge moment, and a big opportunity. You want to play your best, but it's hard to block out the noise, especially at the first, I don't know, 5 to 10 points of the match.
Thursday night was so drastically different for these two teams. Texas A&M had never been on this stage. Did not blink, no problem. Looked like they had been here many, many times before. For Kentucky, it took them quite a while to find their rhythm and to settle into the match. Craig Skinner said that first set was one of the worst they played all season, but it's not about how you start, it's how you finish, and they were excellent down the stretch in that match.
That trophy is going to look really nice in somebody's trophy case. Will Kentucky add a second title, or will Texas A&M bring home a first? Texas A&M will serve first. It is national championship time in Kansas City. Cassie O'Brien calling on Eva Hudson, and it dribbles down the tape. Kentucky gets the first point.
Nice first set there from Cassie O'Brien. Good location, allowed Hudson to go up, take what was there.
Trinity Ward, the true freshman defensive specialist out of Louisville, Kentucky, steps back for the Wildcats. Eva Underwood takes the pass. They go with Finicasa Paula in the middle. Hudson gets a swing off, a one-handed save from Abby Applegate. Trinity Ward with the dive. Hudson's turn to the back corner.
It's one of her favorite shots, Holly.
Eva Hudson has so many offensive tools, number 7 in white, but her line shot is her money shot. Deep down the line, she disguises it so well.
She was a finalist for the National Player of the Year. That award went to Olivia Babcock at Pitt for the 2nd straight year in a row. Maddie Walker jacking it back to Logan Lednicki. O'Brien relying heavily on Hudson in these first few points. Lizzie Carr got a swing. Stowers tracking, and Cassie O'Brien wins at the net. That's the National Freshman of the Year.
Kentucky's doing a really nice job getting good high digs to the middle of the court, so Cassie O'Brien can set in transition, putting her hitters in good position.
Service error gives Texas A&M its first point. Now, these two teams have faced off this season. It was back on October 8th. Kentucky won in 4. But talking to Jamie Morrison, I mean, he said, I hesitated to show my team that film because both teams are so different from that last meeting.
Yeah, both teams completely different, and they've grown in so many different ways. This is a totally different match today.
Underwood is going to hand set Logan Lednicki in the court. Molly Tuzzo dives for it. Lednicki off hands, one-handed save by Molly Bresowitz. Into the middle with Carr. Underwood is there. Emily Helmuth tries to tip into the block, not going to work. Lednicki was looking for line. Too wide.
That rally should tell you what we're in store for this afternoon. It's going to be a long one.
Both teams just locked in on hitter coverage, defense. They know the game plan, and they're executing so well. Unforced error by Lednicki gives Kentucky the point.
Another out-of-system swing here for Logan Lednicki. Paula, an attacking error, a much better start for Kentucky compared to the semifinal on Thursday.
Definitely, they've come out on point, in a rhythm offensively, and then just the little things defensively, ready to dig balls.
Kentucky hitting 300, Texas A&M hitting -200 to start. And blocked by Asia Thigpen. Timeout, Texas A&M. Kentucky is ready for this one. They are up by 5 in the first set of our national championship. NCAA.com is your official online home for all NCAA championships. For more information, go to NCAA.com. It's been all Kentucky to start this national championship. They are on a 3-0 run. That last time out, Eva Hudson, who has already taken 7 swings in this match, getting a little help from an inhaler.
Surprised they don't have an oxygen tank over there like they do in football for as many swings as she takes throughout the course of a match.
That is the A&M we're used to seeing at Paula.
A&M was the best passing team in the SEC, and here they're able to get it to Maddie Walk, and the Paula quick set out of the middle is a deadly one.
Paula has become one of the best middle blockers in the nation. She has a all-around game. Lizzie Carr as Kentucky shows off its middle.
I love that run from Cassie O'Brien. Great job by Molly Tuzzo putting this ball right on top of her head. She can go to a fast gap set to Carr. Really nice movement at the net.
Holly, what's the biggest difference in Kentucky in this set compared to the semifinal?
A quick start. I mean, they've started so slow historically this season, and just a good start in good spots defensively and then passing well so Cassie O'Brien can deliver some nice sets.
Logan Lednicki on the serve for Texas A&M. She was one of 2 players to play with the national team this summer. We're talking about the national team that you would see in the Olympics, that level. That's how good she is. Pushing it outside to Emily Helmuth, and Asia Thigpen is being a blocking presence right now.
I listened in on A&M's huddle during that timeout. Adjustments, he said, out of system, let's get the set a little bit higher. And then he said, I'm going to say this all night long. You do not need to play perfect. I'll say it all night, but you do need to play your game and get into a rhythm.
Asia Thigpen with 2 solo blocks already. The undersized blocker on the right side for Kentucky. They're trying to go after her.
It was a tight set to the net, and it would be tough for Asia Thigpen to do anything with that. Thigpen, a player who moved into the opposite position, Katie, not her natural position for Kentucky.
No, but she's such a well-rounded volleyball player. She can pass, she can serve, she's an excellent blocker even at her size, and of course she's going to show you today how she can attack offensively.
Ryan will run Kennedy Washington in the middle.
I love that Kentucky's going to their middles right now. For sure, the difference since the semifinal is the first contact for Kentucky. Wisconsin put all sorts of pressure on Kentucky, but good things happen when you can put that ball in your setter's hands.
Feels like we're seeing the opposite from these two teams based on what we saw in the first sets of their Thursday night matches. Texas A&M came out of like a shotgun, whereas it took Kentucky a little bit to get going. Now we're seeing the opposite.
So they call Kentucky going up and blocking the set. Blocking substitution for Texas A&M. This is a normal thing for them. Taryn Morris, number 6 in the black jersey, up at the net. They take off Maddie Walk, their setter. They can use Tatum Thomas or Addie Applegate to set. Trying to get a bigger block on Brooklyn DeLay, and she tips around it.
Both Kentucky outside pins are doing a really nice job seeing the block, using the tip, taking some off, right? And they're just throwing it and skirting it over. Those hands there in the middle, they have to be pressed. The net has to be sealed. Right now, the block's not doing that.
Maddie Walk back on the floor. Texas A&M setter, and it's a service error by Brooklyn DeLay.
Maddie Walk has been really good from the service line. Had a bunch of aces in this NCAA tournament.
She's had 7 aces in the last 2 matches, Holly.
Yes, she has. Texas A&M needs to clean up their block. They're such a dominant blocking team. I know they're just feeling that aggressive mindset, but they just need to be more clean with that press over the net sooner.
Agreed, because right now DeLay and Hudson are having their way with that outside block.
Maddie Walk pushing it out to Kendall Stowers.
I love this run from Texas A&M. It's such a fast-paced offense. We told you about it in the open. Look how Maddie Walk's able to hold the middle blocker and then get Stowers in a one-on-one situation. So she's got all that court to work with and take that cross-court angle.
When we talked to Craig Skinner, Kentucky's head coach, he said, look, we know Texas A&M is fast. They're faster than when they faced them in October. He thought it would take Kentucky a second to get used to that.
That's a good sign for Kentucky when DeLay can score out of the back row. O'Brien and DeLay were not in a rhythm on that backcourt set when we saw them in the semifinal.
That has been such an important weapon for Kentucky this year, too. Oh, monster serve from O'Brien. It just died after it crossed the net. Cassie O'Brien going to Lizzie Carr. Just long. Kentucky looking over to their bench. This is something that Craig Skinner could challenge.
I mean, Lizzie Carr was adamant when she came down from the attack.
And they will. Each team gets 2 challenges per match. If you're correct in your challenge, you get to keep it. So they're looking for a block touch on this.
Worth mentioning, Lizzie Carr is 6'6". If you're Cassie O'Brien, you got to get that set up a little bit higher so she can go and attack. This ball's low.
This ball's low, and Lizzie Carr just tries to go flat, get a piece of the block.
You're looking at Casapala's left hand. Does she raise the pinky ring finger? I think it's very hard to tell in both those angles.
The original call, no touch, and that it was out.
I don't see a touch.
And if it's hard to tell, it means it's inconclusive and they won't be able to overturn it.
Kentucky has controlled this first set. They came out and led 6-1. Texas A&M still trying to dig out of hitting in the negative. Still not seeing a touch.
After review, the call is confirmed. Kentucky will lose a challenge.
So Kentucky will have 1 challenge remaining. Unless we go to a 5th set, they'll get an additional. Texas A&M still has 2. Talk about good serving. Afina Casapala, that's something she's added to her game this year. She leads Texas A&M in aces. That's a middle. Oh, that one resulted in an overpass. That was because of the tough serve. Thigpen tipping over the block. Nobody there.
Asia Thigpen, number 20 in white, has had a fantastic start. 2 solo blocks on the right side, and then a much-needed kill over the big block of Texas A&M.
That's 3 to 4 tips so far that Kentucky's been able to place over top of the block or through the block.
Lednicki hammering that block.
What I will say about Texas A&M as they work themselves into this set, no deficit is too big for them to overcome. We've learned that about this team time and time again.
Opening set in our national championship here in Kansas City. 2 SEC teams playing for the very first time in the championship. Walk trying to get aggressive. Cassie O'Brien waiting. Delay, hustling to get there. And then Helmuth reloads. And they're going to call a lift call. I think Portland Delay carried that a little bit too much.
Well, there were 2 transition set opportunities for Kentucky. First one from Tezza was too tight, and this one too wide for Delay.
Just hangs in her hand a little bit too long there.
Attacking Delay and serve receive. Here's the swing off the block. Stowers down the line.
Again, we talk about this fast offense. The ball shoots out of Maddie Walk's hand all the way to the antenna. Watch the speed, and then she's got just a smidge there of line to work with, and she threads that needle.
Katie, and it's the block deflection that sets up that quick transition play for Texas A&M.
Oh, Delay roll shot right to the middle of the court.
That's a ball Texas A&M needs to pick up. Yes, they're good on the hard-driven ball in the block. They have to pick up those shots.
But to your point, not a great location from O'Brien. So you think that's a ball, easy dig, and then you can run your offense out of it. They're going to want that one back.
Applegate takes the pass into the middle with Morgan Perkins.
Kentucky really attacking the center of the court, throwing a bunch of balls down into the middle and forcing that off blocker who's that left-sider to pick that up.
I'm surprised at the hesitation and the lack of communication we're seeing from Texas A&M on defense right now.
That's been something that has been so good for them in this tournament. One arm save from Ava Underwood. Molly Bresowitz lays out. Here comes Delay. No touch, point A&M.
I like that set from Cassie O'Brien. Delay able to get on top of it, but just doesn't finish into the court.
Tatum Thomas, one of Texas A&M's best servers. Can she go on a run and string together a couple of points here to cut into this deficit?
Kentucky making a point of running their middles, getting them going, and credit Eva Hudson with that strong overhand pass on the first contact.
But they're able to do it, Ollie, because they have the pass. They're passing really well out of serve receive.
Brooklyn Delay is heading back to serve. She has got the program record for a single season kills in the rally era. Point A&M.
Kentucky's left side blocker trying to come in and help and present a double block in front of Afena Casapala, and the quick arm through the seam between those two blockers scores for Texas A&M.
Brock serves it down the line, takes Delay out of the play. Eva Hudson running into the net.
Kentucky needs to set that ball off and a little bit inside so the hitter has a chance to swing. Those are dangerous, tight to the net.
Really nice serves from Walk.
Some strategy going down that line at Delay. Casapala through Kennedy Washington's block. Aggies on a 4-0 run.
So you see Walk go to Casapala on a one set. She's got a double block, so they just move her a little bit, right? On a 31 gap set here. She's got a one-on-one. She goes right into Kennedy Washington. Washington's got to seal that net, but she's able to work with her for a nice swing.
One of the hard things about stopping Afena Casapala is her speed. She's quick off the floor and a quick arm. So yes, if you're facing her, fast hands over the net, blocking.
Set to Hudson. Stowers. Dug by Delay, but out. How about Maddie Walk going after that ball?
Incredible vision to see that ball go off the block and chase it down outside the court.
Kentucky's got to call timeout as here come the Aggies. A 4-0 run. Jamie Morrison talking to his team pregame in the locker room. Let's take you there.
This team will not give up. And I need us to take everything that makes you, you, who you are as a competitor, the way you show sass, your skill, everything that you have, and I need you to take everything that makes us, us, the systems we have, the way we play volleyball, the way we support each other, the way we help each other up, and I need us to go out and relentlessly be authentically ourselves and break this team. It starts in about an hour and a half. Let's go.
Natty's on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Jamie Morrison, the National Coach of the Year this season, and you heard Madison talk about it at the beginning of the match. He's challenged his team. How do you respond? What kind of response are you seeing right now, Holly, from A&M?
A big one. And all season long, Jamie Morrison has instilled confidence in this team to go out and play their best volleyball. They work with Alicia Childress, a mental mindset coach, and she helps prepare them in the moment with the way they communicate when things are going the wrong way.
They also have 9 seniors on this team. That's a mature group that has been through a lot since they came to College Station their freshman year. So they've been in all different kinds of situations, experienced a lot of tight matches, big matches certainly, so they're never out, no matter what the deficit is. Good response.
These seniors, when they were freshmen, guys, they won 13 matches. That's it, on a whole season.
And now look.
This program has come a long way together, and I think that's what makes this group so unique.
A&M just forced Kentucky to call that timeout. What did you hear, Madison?
Well, Craig Skinner said one side out on the pass. Don't forget to bring it back to the middle. He said, let's use the back row on the attack. So watch Kentucky to prioritize that.
They'll use Eva Hudson here. Another good option as she goes down the line.
Well, Madison, to your point, delay sticks that pass, puts it right on O'Brien's head. Makes it so much easier when you're passing well as a setter to run your offense efficiently.
UK has just 1 point on their last 9 serves. They got 5 points off their first 9 serves, and that will be wide by Trinity Ward.
Kentucky going after Ava Underwood, and I think she's been fantastic. The libero for Texas A&M with her platform.
A&M has been targeting Brooklyn DeLay. She's in middle back right now. They go to her again. Lizzie Carr running on the slide, but it's out. Point Texas A&M.
Perfect pass for Kentucky, but O'Brien pulled that set off the net, and that makes it hard for Lizzie Carr to attack it because she's under the ball.
Kentucky led by as many as 6 in this set. Now it's just a 1-point lead for the Wildcats. O'Brien to Hudson. Great block touch. Casapala behind the setter, turned it wide.
You see how dangerous Texas A&M is, though. They deflect the ball, they dig it, and they attack back so quickly. Casapala missed it wide, but that's what makes them so good.
Kentucky hits the red zone first. That's 20 to 25 points. Block feeding Lednicki for a second time. It works.
A great swing there by Lednicki, going high off the block to Tulik. Good set by Walk to get her all the way out to that pin. Good footwork to get there in time.
Lednicki has had more swings than anyone in this match with 13 already. Hudson got blocked.
Fantastic block adjustment by the Aggies, sliding into that line. They've got the size with Lednicki and Morgan Perkins. They're in.
Lednicki dug by Thigpen. Give it up to Carr.
Love the run here to run Lizzie Carr in a quick 1 set. Look how fast this is. She splits that block. She's able to cut back crossbody, one-on-one against Morgan Perkins.
Just long. Wow, Ava Underwood pulled up at the right time.
A little matrix action.
Yeah. Megan Fitch and a freshman they have used in a serving role this year. Lizzie Carr feeling it.
Cassie O'Brien bring that long-distance gap set to Lizzie Carr, and I like that choice because it puts a ton of pressure on the middle blocker, and it can isolate Asia Thigpen on the right side.
There's Molly Tuzzo, a third-team All-American this year. Give her an ace!
Molly Tuzzo loves to go to the corner, deep cross court, the longest part of the court. She puts a ton of pace on it.
That forces A&M to use its final timeout of the set. Kentucky needs 2 more points to win set 1 in this national championship. Let's take you in the locker room pregame. Craig Skinner talking to his Kentucky Wildcats.
What champions recognize is when you get to the top of the mountain, there's always something next to climb. Today is the peak. You need every ounce of yourself. You need to fight, claw, scrap, keep climbing until you get to the top. Okay? This building is about ready to witness a hunger in a team they've never seen before.
Guys, we watched Kentucky practice yesterday. And after practice, they ended a little bit early. They circled up. And Eva Hudson was the first one to speak. And she said, guys, there's a weird vibe here right now. You've got to trust your teammate to do their job, and you need to do your job.
Well, when you want something so bad, it's easy to start pressing, to play outside of yourself, to try to do other people's job, because you want this, right? This has been your goal from the very beginning of the season, and it's so close you can taste it. I love that leadership from Eva Hudson to say, do your job, trust me as your teammate beside you to do mine. That's what's gotten us to this point.
And Kentucky was able to follow up with a session with Dr. Cormier, their sports psych, so they can hash some things out last night after that little round court discussion.
And they look much more in a rhythm today.
They certainly do.
They have overcome that yesterday. Madison, what did you hear on the Aggie sideline?
In the Texas A&M huddle, Coach Morrison was focused on defense. He said, blockers, let's close the block, be disciplined up there with your hands, and then defenders, don't be on your heels. Let's dig up some balls in transition.
Jamie Morrison has been confident in his team's blocking all season. We'll see if they can make that adjustment. Really tight. Perkins got a hand on it. Thick pin backside.
That's a nice block touch that Madison was just referencing.
And that sets up Emily Helmuth.
It's exactly what Coach Morrison wanted. You get a block touch at the net, it slows the ball down, makes it an easier dig for your defense behind, and then you're able to run out of it. That ball goes high, perfect pass, you got both options in front of you. Helmuth tipped down.
And that block touch, it's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but so important. So important. Delay trying to use pace, too wide, and Texas A&M's tied it up.
Brooklyn Delay trying to go down that line deep. Texas A&M putting some pressure on her with their block.
Third time we've been tied. Stowers turn. O'Brien to Thigpen. A&M in the net.
The way that Kentucky uses Thigpen, it's a back set. It's what you call a dog, and Thigpen's so quick to hit it that the blockers are chasing. Get a piece of the net.
Bottom of the net is what they got, and it's Kentucky's set point. Resowitz serving at Applegate. Stowers flying in. Stowers working hard through that block.
That's back-to-back attacks in a very quick amount of time. Good job by Stowers to transition and get a quick jump in there.
Maddie Walk loves to repeat her set. Even if it's a middle set, she'll go right back to them.
Got to win by 2.
Kentucky, you're already out of system. Some of these second ball contacts are too tight to the net. When you're facing a big block, you're basically sending your hitter, your attacker, into a closet. These second ball contacts from Resowitz, you got to pull that off the net and and allow your attacker to have a chance and an opportunity to move that ball around.
Especially when Kazapala is up at the net against you. She takes up so much space, and you see that handwork by Ofena Kazapala to swat it down.
That play right there gave Texas A&M its first lead of the set. It got Jamie Morrison fired up. And this will be Texas A&M's set point. Kentucky has already had a set point.
I thought it was interesting with Morrison telling us about his career path. He said early on when he was with Karch Karai with the men's national team, he was very stoic. He didn't show a lot of emotion. And then throughout the course of his career, his players have told him over the years, we want more fire from you. We want more passion from you. And he certainly looks like he's having the time of his life on the sidelines.
And that's how he likes to be. He's passionate about what he does. He loves his group of players, and he loves what he's doing every day.
A&M trailed by as many as 6 in this opening set, and now they have a set point and their first lead of the set. Let's switch it over to the other side for Kentucky, Holly. What do you want to see the Wildcats do here?
Better passing. I think that's been the difference. Kentucky's been pulling the pass off the net, and then somebody else has to step in and set, and then it's not the set that they can swing effectively against this strong Texas A&M defense.
Well, Holly, you're spot on with that. It was about passing. Coach said platform up, stick that platform to the net, push that pass forward. We need an in-system pass right here to side out.
Kentucky's had a set point, Madison, but now it's Texas A&M set point.
2 hitters in the front row. Cassie O'Brien, the setter for Kentucky in the front row. Look for Eva Hudson out of the back row to put some extra pressure on the Aggies.
She has to pass. It's out of system. Brooklyn DeLay going sharp angle. Stowers coming in. Swipes it off the block, and A&M comes back from down 6 to win set 1. Aggies end on a 3-0 run.
What a response midway through that first set from Texas A&M. They were not in shock, no fear to come out and get this first set in the national championship.
Standing up for what you know is right while everybody else is tucking the toe between their legs. What's my def?
What a road for Texas A&M. Last year, they made it to the regional semifinal. This year, they pushed past that, and they had to take down 2 #1 seeds, including the #1 overall seed in Nebraska, who was undefeated at the time, Holly.
Well, it started with Louisville. This Texas A&M team was down 0-2 and had to force 3 extra sets, so they won a reverse sweep, and then to win on the floor in Nebraska against an undefeated team, that was a huge feat to get them to this point.
It is so difficult to win a 5-set match, let alone 2 in the same weekend. The mental, physical, emotional toll that takes. And then, by the way, to re-rack and come straight to Kansas City to get ready for a national semifinal, it was a quick turnaround for them, but very impressive weekend in the regionals.
The Aggies also handed Pitt their first sweep of the season, all season long. I mean, what an accomplishment.
Well, Texas A&M came back from down 6. They ended on a 3-0 run. Madison, how did Kentucky take that in their last huddle?
Well, they brought up the semifinals. He said last match we didn't start out hot, but we finished hot. This time we started hot, but we didn't finish. So he said, let's find that consistency, and how we do that is we stay aggressive.
And we've seen how gritty this Kentucky team can be. Never count them out. Underwood with a pretty dig, and then Maddie block. That is a setter.
I love a good turn and burn, baby.
Kentucky, this is a crazy stat to me still. They're 8-1 when losing the first set, including in the semifinal.
That's going to be one of the best.
Even though they had a good start, they lost. So I still think that's a good number for Kentucky. Trinity Ward has been so good from the service line. She's been able to take Kentucky on some good scoring runs by putting pressure on the other side.
Goes at Underwood. Backside Lednicki. 15 swings already for Logan Lednicki. Hudson. Dug up by Applegate. Ofena Kazapala almost did the splits to dig that ball.
Great coverage by both teams.
Lednicki turning line.
What a dig by Kendall Stowers on that 4-to-4 to set up Lednicki. Some great defense, but it started here with this coverage from Casapala. Look at that athleticism and quickness just to get down and keep that ball alive. And then Lednicki is able to tool the block outside the court of play.
Four kills and a couple of digs for Logan Lednicki. That was Sales on Stowers. Lednicki was a semifinalist for the National Player of the Year and a second-team All-American this season. That's back-to-back years she's been a second-team All-American. Solid pass from Stowers allows them to go to the middle. Back to Lednicki. Do it again.
The block presence of the Aggies right now is forcing Kentucky to tip. And Texas A&M has a player waiting for it. So then they're able to connect on that quick back set to Lednicki. And that's really when the Aggies start rolling.
Comes off her hand at 42 miles per hour down the line. The finger wag from Lednicki.
Early in set one, Texas A&M's block was non-existent, and Kentucky was having their way with it offensively. That's why you're seeing so many efficient kills. Now you're starting to see Texas A&M's block pick up at the end of set one and here early in set two.
Oh, my goodness!
Unbelievable serve.
All season long, Afena Casapala has been crushing balls from the service line, so this is no different. She gets back there and unleashes that heavy arm, and it gets away from delay.
It's her 8th ace in the tournament. The pin. Got it.
Great movement there from Molly Tuzzo to control that serve, put the ball on her setter's head, and Thigpen does a nice job finding high hands.
Texas A&M asking for a towel on their side of the floor. And to think, going back just to serving for Casapala, that's an area that she added this year. They've really used.
Incredible.
It's like a secret weapon almost. Morgan Perkins exploding out of the middle.
Jamie Morrison in this postseason has said, look, Maddie Walk's the most underrated setter in the country, and you can see why. She's at the 3-meter line and able to push this gap set to a perfect height and pace so Morgan Perkins can kill that ball.
47 miles per hour on that swing from Perkins. O'Brien on the run, out to Brooklyn, delayed, dug up by Tuzzo. Delay through the block, through that seam.
Brooklyn DeLay loves a quick set. It has to be high enough, but she loves pace going out to that antenna. That allows her to score through the seam.
What's the difference in this set to Brooklyn DeLay compared to Eva Hudson?
Eva Hudson likes a higher ball, still with some good pace outside. Brooklyn DeLay likes it a little bit faster.
DeLay. Blocked. That's Morgan Perkins.
We talk a lot about Afena Casapala and how dynamic she is as a middle blocker, but Morgan Perkins is such a consistent, steady force in the middle. Look at the lateral movement to get to walk, to close, and press over. I love the passion and enthusiasm after in celebration.
Blocking was definitely a focus for her in the offseason. Free ball back to the Kentucky Wildcats. And it sails on Kennedy Washington.
That set needs to be a little higher. I love the idea by Cassie O'Brien to run that gap set just a little higher and Washington get on top of it. Look at this tight set. Maddie Walk touches it, and that allows Aggies to stay in the rally.
Stowers, off hands, dug up by Tuzzo. Eva Hudson back row.
We need to see more of that from Kentucky. Yes, you've got 3 hitters in the front row to go to, but Eva Hudson is lethal out of the back row on this back row set. Look at the power, and she's got one-on-one. She can cut it cross court or go wrist away. She chooses zone 5.
Anytime you can attack out of the middle of the court, it puts a ton of pressure on the blocker in the middle.
They need Hudson right now because Brooklyn Delay, their other weapon on the outside, is hitting in the negative. Jamie Morrison to his team.
No setter on the floor for the Aggies. Taryn Morris in to block on the right side for A&M.
Kendall Stowers says, what about a block on the left side?
Jamie Morrison told us his 2 left side blockers are elite, and he trusts them to slow down any slide hitter in the country. Look at Kendall Stowers get up and close that seam with her right hand for the Aggie block.
Kentucky's got to call a timeout. A&M is siding out at 100% in set number 2. They lead the national championship by a set. Had a big block. This is a player that wasn't playing last year. She was medically retired after starting her career at Baylor due to concussions, but felt something last year that she wasn't done, was able to go to the doctor and safely was cleared to play. And now the impact that she has had on this Texas A&M program and the run they've made to the championship is crazy.
Kendall Stowers has been one of the best players in the country in this NCAA tournament, and a year ago she was on her couch watching.
They'll set up Stowers here inside the court. Going back on the Kentucky side. Eva Hudson out of the back row. Casapala got the block. Point for A&M. They call a back row attack on Kentucky. Madison, for Kendall Stowers, yeah, she's a great athlete, but there's other big athletes in their family, too.
Exactly. She's not the only elite. Stowers peaking right now, you guys. Eli Stowers, her brother, is a tight end at Vanderbilt. He just won the 2025 John Mackey Award, and that's presented to the nation's top tight end. Not to mention he led Vanderbilt to its first ever 10-win season. So, like Kendall, Eli is making history as well.
And Eli in the crowd, too. He also won the Campbell Trophy, which combines your classroom performance and off-the-field activities with your performance on the football field. Kendall was his biggest cheerleader last season when she wasn't playing. Now he's here cheering her on.
I love it.
You also have to think that growing up in such a competitive household has certainly helped and aided her in her athletic career.
Hudson split that block. Hudson and Brooklyn Delay leading Kentucky right now, 6 kills apiece. That is not a surprise. They are the power arms for the Cats. Hudson off hands, dug up by Applegate. Lednicki out of the back row. Hudson was looking for a piece of the block, won't get it.
Kentucky is transition setting the ball too tight. I mean, I can count 8 balls where they're not giving Eva Hudson or Brooklyn Delay enough room to go up and swing around that big block. We call that a trap set.
When you're out of system, you want to leave the ball a foot or 2 off the net. You're already in a position where you just want to recycle the ball at this point, right? Give yourself another chance. But by forcing the ball too tight, you don't do that.
Out of system meaning the set is going to be predictable. You don't have all 3 attacking options to go to. A&M with its largest lead here in set number 2. They had to come back from down 6 in the first set to win it. Tosses it up to Lednicki.
As a setter, when you establish the middle like Texas A&M has done, it allows you to go to the pins and get your hitters one-on-one situations. Washington is late to close, which gives Lednicki all the court to work with.
3-0 run for the Aggies. It's coming over.
Afena-Kazapala owns the net. When she's in the front row, she commands a huge presence. And anything pops tight, she's going to go up and get it for Texas A&M.
She's just so physical, so powerful in all of her movements, whether that's offensively or defensively.
Kentucky calls timeout. Well, tonight on ESPN, we've got a great women's basketball header for you on deck. First, Stanford hosting Oregon at 6 Eastern. And then number 19, USC taking on Cal at 8:30. It's the second annual Invisalign Bay Area Women's Classic tonight on ESPN and the ESPN app. When Afena-Kazapala was deciding where she wanted to go play college volleyball, she wanted to be part of the reason a program became a winner again, and my goodness, she certainly is.
She has been such a difference maker. I mean, she's so powerful in the middle on these quick sets. She finds ways to go through the block. They move her around in different capacities. Gali, defensively, Holly. That's where I feel like she makes her biggest mark.
Afena-Kazapala's got elite eyes, fantastic handwork, and she is so quick moving laterally. She goes coast to coast several times in one play and is able to close on either side.
And guys, she is now the career blocks record holder at Texas A&M.
Feels very fitting given the impact she's had on this program. As she waves to the camera on cue. It's like she knew we were talking about her.
Spent some time with the national team. And Jamie Morrison said she came back as the best blocker, maybe in the nation, maybe in the world.
Kentucky in this set is hitting negative. They need to clean up their passing. They need to clean up their transition setting and allow their hitters to work around this big block by giving them more space off the net.
Aggies on a 4-0 run. Maddie Walk is serving. Out of system, Cassie O'Brien has to bump it over to Eva Hudson. Kazapala looking for the back corner, too wide.
That out-of-system set from O'Brien was too far off the net, but I'd rather have that than too tight of a set to the net. It allows you to at least take a roll shot, put the ball in the court of play.
Correct. Texas A&M putting a ton of pressure on Kentucky with their serve right now.
Applegate with the pass in the middle with Kazapala on the tip. Hudson had to chase it. Stowers. Felt that one.
Well, Holly, you talked about Kentucky needing to clean up a few things. Head coach Craig Skinner said all that is footwork. We need to get our passing footwork right, our attacking footwork, our blocking footwork, and that's what he pointed to that they need to clean up.
I love that, Madison. That's where it starts, on that first ball contact. Kentucky started this match passing dimes right on top of Cassie O'Brien's head, so it's not like they can't get back to that. Perfect pass. Just a bit of a disconnect there on the set.
Brian dishing it up for Hudson, dug by Underwood. Kendall Stowers out of the back row. Get it.
Starts with the dig from Underwood, taking the heat from Hudson. Look at this dig right here. Even though it's off the net, Maddie Watt can run that transition back to Kendall Stowers.
53 miles per hour coming off of Kendall Stowers' hand, and now she goes back to keep serving. Kentucky has no timeouts in this set. Helmet got a little chicken wing from Logan Lednicki to keep the rally going.
Everything's going right for Texas A&M. They're playing at such a high level. If you're Kentucky right now, you got to side out and try to gain some momentum to work yourself back into this set, but back into the match beyond.
And it starts with a pass.
A&M on a 7-1 run.
I like the pass. Connection just not there from O'Brien to Carr.
Hudson unloading into that block. That ends a 4-0 run by the Aggies.
But the Aggies had a huge block in front of her. Lednicki and Kozapala, who've been an incredible blocking duo in this NCAA tournament. Hudson just able to find a way to tool them out of bounds.
But she had a nice high set off the net that allowed her to do so.
Really tight pass. Back over on the Kentucky side. Here comes Hudson.
Haven't been too many easy swings from Kentucky tonight, but here, a one-on-one, and Hudson's going to score every time.
How important is her fire and passion for Kentucky?
I think Eva Hudson leads this team emotionally, just the way she competes. Everybody described her as fierce.
Pancake by Underwood.
What a defensive play, what an effort to get up under this tip, and her teammates absolutely love it. Take a look at this. She is full-blown in the air to wedge her hand underneath that ball. That is a perfect pancake, baby.
Those are the little plays that can give your team so much momentum.
Craig Skinner challenging.
Kentucky is challenging that the pancake was unsuccessful.
Remember, if they're incorrect in this, this is their last challenge. Now, Kentucky doesn't have any timeouts, so also a chance for them to talk to their team. If any part of the ball hits the court.
After review, the call will be reversed. Point Kentucky, and they will retain their challenge.
I'm just going to stop talking about pancakes from here on out. That's now 2 over the course of the weekend. I thought her full hand was under there. I didn't see the ball hit the floor. And now Texas A&M is starting to see it.
It touches the floor right there. Your full hand has to be under that ball. Ooh, it got loud.
You see Emily Helmuth wave bye-bye after that kill. Bye-bye.
A&M 5 points away from taking a 2-0 lead. So looking for Engel.
Power. Eva Hudson finding ways to score for Kentucky. Now Brooklyn DeLay has to find a rhythm. She's a really important part of this Kentucky offense.
Yeah, she cannot hit 0 like she is right now.
Nice up by O'Brien. Great hustle.
Lednicki coming in.
What an angle. On the outside pin, we talk about that shot 4-4, cross court. On the right side pin as a lefty, look at her go 2-2 almost. That is such a sharp angle to hit. She makes it look so easy.
And Maddie Walk gets that ball to Lednicki on the right side so quickly, and then she gets it on her left hand. It's really tough for the block to stop.
Lednicki's got 8 kills, just 1 error, so she's hitting 304. Anything over 300 would be awesome.
Kentucky needs offense out of the middle to free up some space to work through the block on the pins.
Malitezo serving for Kentucky. Walk backside to Lednicki. Brooklyn DeLay was waiting.
Important play for Kentucky. Brooklyn DeLay in the semifinal got her way back into the match by digging balls, blocking balls, and then her offense came along. So hopefully that will happen for Brooklyn DeLay of Kentucky.
Helmet. O'Brien goes stick pin. Looking for a line, won't get it.
To your point, Holly, you might not be bringing your best stuff offensively as an attacker. There are so many other ways to impact the match defensively, whether that's in the backcourt or at the net. That was a great block from the service line. So you hope to see some of those pieces lead her to a better offensive performance as this match progresses.
Texas A&M's block solid right now.
And Maddie Walk, number 16 in black, getting all of this one. Brooklyn DeLay's letting that ball drop. You can't hit low seam against this Texas A&M team.
DeLay tries again and gets through Maddie Walk's block.
That time, Brooklyn DeLay keeping her swing a little bit higher and really attacking the outside hand of Maddie Walk, the right side blocker.
Maddie Walk's 5'10". You often hear opposing teams talk about, hey, undersized setter, let's try to attack her, let's try to go after her. You can tell that's what DeLay's trying to do in those last two swings.
Walk calls up Perkins. Brezowitz with the one-arm dig. Brooklyn DeLay in the middle of the court, tipping too wide. It is set point Texas A&M. A&M with their blocking sub. Taryn Morris up at the net. No setter on the floor. It'll be Tatum Thomas or Addie Applegate. Washington on the slide. No. A&M leads this national championship match 2-0.
We told you at the beginning that A&M had caught lightning in the bottle. It just seems like every match they have played in the NCAA tournament, they have raised their level of play and gotten better set by set.
And Kentucky hits negative in that set.
That's serving and blocking defensively.
And Texas A&M had 3 blocks in the second set. Jamie Morrison is with Madison.
Coach, defensively, how has your net defense impacted the game so far?
I mean, huge, and everything that we talked about doing, and I think we've made really good adjustments within, too. I think they came out with a game plan looking at the last match we played, and we made some really quick adjustments. And, again, you're going to ask me something about the first set. It's just response. It's really been what our team is about the entire season, and I'm just proud of them right now.
You just said to me we're not done yet. What do you tell your team right now before going to this set?
They're going to fight. And I said this in all the interviews, and I said this to our team. That team does not give up. And they're going to come out until the end of this, and we got to keep doing what we're doing.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Texas A&M 1 set win away from a first national championship in program history. Kentucky backs against the wall.
Coach, how do you need to see your team get into a rhythm? What does it start with?
Well, it starts with our first contact on both sides. I mean, we got to serve some pressure to them to get them off the net. When they're on the net, it's really hard to stop. And we got to better ball on our side of the net with the first contact, with the second contact, make better choices attacking. So, combination of a few things.
And then defensively, what adjustments need to be made?
Well, we just got to get them so they don't have 3 or 4 options. I mean, right now they have 3 or 4 options, and it's really hard for our block to get set up.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Kentucky down 2-0. We'll see if they're able to do all the things that Craig Skinner just outlined, Courtney.
Because a win for A&M, and they're bringing a trophy back to College Station.
Texas A&M leads 2-0. 1 set away from their first national championship. But, and there is a but, the University of
Yes, A&M is up 2 sets, but this is a gritty Kentucky team. We have seen them with their backs against the wall, Holly, and they can push forward.
They usually get better as a match goes on, especially when they're down. They find another gear, but it's hard to do that against a Texas A&M team that is relentlessly putting pressure on them.
Texas A&M is suffocating. They don't let you score any easy points, so you have to grind and grit for every single point. That becomes frustrating, so you have to have great patience if you're Kentucky.
Maddie Walk will go to Logan Lednick, who has to tip with her right hand. She's a lefty. And just a miss set there for Cassie O'Brien. A&M will take the first point of the set.
Cassie O'Brien was trying to go to Lizzie Cart. Lizzie Cart just was not ready for it. They need to be ready at every moment to be an attacker.
Rafina Casapala waiting for the overpass.
Casapala's so quick off the floor. I mean, her hands are on that ball before Kentucky can even respond. Straight down for the A&M point.
took the swing. And then Hudson and Brezowicz, just a miscommunication.
Well, Hudson looked like she was going to try to step into it and attack on that second contact, and unfortunately, there was just a little bit of hesitation there for Brezowicz. You got to iron out some of these communication errors.
Touch on that ball for Eva Hudson, and a point that Kentucky desperately needed.
Eva Hudson trying to fire up her team, bringing the emotion. But the time is now for Kentucky. They need to make the little plays. They need to shift up to that other gear that Craig Skinner's told us about.
Eva Hudson has been such an important addition. She spent 3 seasons at Purdue where she was a 2-time All-American. Now a first-team All-American at Kentucky. Off of the block into the antenna. Aggies will take that point, and now they're up 4-1.
I think Stowers is so good at assessing and processing information. She takes that first swing, gets blocked. They are able to cover out of it, and then she goes right back at that block, but makes a better swing, a craftier swing to score.
Jimmy Morrison told us after the regional, after the win at Nebraska, she put on a master class in attacking, Holly.
And she did, and I love that Maddie Walk goes back-to-back sets, giving Kendall Stowers the opportunity to get a second swing after getting blocked by Big Pen.
Did you see the stare down from Pentecosta Paula?
Yes. She is so intense, a fierce competitor.
She says she gets in flow state, just locked in. We might be seeing it right now. An ace for the Aggies. Somebody that has been important when Kentucky has struggled. Thigpen has been consistent.
Asia Thigpen is undersized but quick on the ball, finds a seam, and she's looking at her teammates going, let's go. Kentucky trying to find anything to move in the right direction.
Thigpen has 4 kills, 2 blocks, and 2 digs.
We've seen in the past Thigpen be a spark that this team desperately needs right now.
Cats string together a couple of points. Service error.
With the Pentecosta Paula on the back line for the Aggies, Kentucky needs to make sure to control this ball off their platform. It's going to have plenty of heat.
We've seen that today. Dribbler! Give her an ace.
It just feels like everything Texas A&M is touching turns to gold right now.
I agree.
2 aces in the match for Pentecosta Paula. There's the pass Kentucky needed. They can run Lizzie Carr in the middle.
Strong, efficient run. A pass that allows O'Brien all of her options. We talk about this a lot in volleyball. The middle attack, the efficiency of it is so difficult to try to defend against. Hopefully she can get more of that going with Kennedy Washington in now.
Walk on the move. Has to throw it up to Helmuth. That was her only option. Delay. A swing and a kill, much needed for Brooklyn Delay, who's hitting in the negative.
And we call this bro offense. Molly Tezzo able to get this ball with her hands and keep it in tempo to Brooklyn Delay, who goes high and fast off that outside hand.
She's one of the best bro setters in the country. You know who helped her start honing that skill, training that skill? Back when she was at 17 for Houston Skyline, her head coach, Jamie Morrison.
Who's now the head coach of Texas A&M.
This Aggie team has a big history with the Skyline Volleyball Club. A lot of these players played together and won a national championship at the 15s.
Including Logan Lednicki, who just served that tough ball and got her team a free ball. Helmuth looking to tip around the block too wide. Jesuits into serve. Kentucky has been playing catch-up this entire set. It's a must-win for the Wildcats. Backside to Lednicki. Heck of a dig by Tuzzo. Helmet, power tip to the middle of the floor.
Emily Helmuth has become the ball control player, low air on the left side. Stowers has the green light to go for it, but Emily Helmuth has just been playing smart volleyball on that left pin all season long.
Her mom, Erin, played volleyball at Baylor, and she told us her mom was a club coach. She doesn't remember the first time she was in the gym because it's been her whole life.
Cassie O'Brien with the setter dump to the deep corner. Good side out by Kentucky. Can they get some defensive stops?
It's a strong throw. Threading the needle down that line. You often think about power when you're trying to dump as a setter, but placement is just as important.
Perkins in the middle, dug by Tuzzo. Hudson, dug up by Applegate. Too sharp for Stowers. Kentucky digging themselves out of this. They're down 2.
Kendall Stowers has the range to hit that ball, but just misses it wide. And now Kentucky a little bit of a run.
Over. Eva Hudson. Here comes Lednicki. 9 kills for Logan Lednicki.
Defensive transition opportunities. Aggies continue to put pressure, and Logan Lednicki gets a piece of the middle blocker, Kennedy Washington's hand.
Spike speed, 54 miles per hour.
Let's go. You mentioned Skyline, Holly. Logan Lednicki and Maddie Walk, they've been playing together for a really long time. How much does that help, especially on a big stage like this?
These players know each other. They love each other. They've won together for a long time. Ava Underwood, Morgan Perkins, also a part of that team that won a national championship together.
Cassie O'Brien going over on 2. That Skyline team, a lot of young faces in the photo, now grown up and playing for a national championship.
But think about the continuity, playing in high school together for all those years, then going and being able to create these kind of memories together at Texas A&M.
And you guys, Ava Underwood said, we've been having those experiences and those high-pressure matches our entire life since we were teenagers. So to make it even more full circle, in that picture, Jen Woods was their coach, and she's on their bench right now for Texas A&M as well.
Yeah, she's one of their associate head coaches. Got to see the whole journey.
How about the fact that they won a national championship in high school at the club level, which is very difficult to do, and here they are with another opportunity to win together.
They just need to win this set to win a title. Kentucky needs 3 more set wins. They're just focused on getting this one right now. Ooh, that was coming right at us from Logan.
We talk about reversing the flow as a setter. If you watch here, Maddie Walk is running forward. She reverses the flow by jacking this ball back to Logan Lednicki. Makes it really difficult for the middle blocker to track back and get there in time. Excellent decision.
Lednicki now 23 straight matches in double figures. An ace for Texas A&M.
Kendall Stowers, we talk about her offense, but her serve is deadly as well. Texas A&M 15, Kentucky 10, and they want a timeout.
Lednicki has been saying gig 'em since she was a toddler, and there's a reason why. Logan's dad, Kyle Lednicki, was a long snapper for the Aggies, class of '98. Her grandfather, class of '62. Her great-grandfather, class of '37. She says it's always been a dream of hers to be a 4th-generation Aggie, but not just a dream to wear the jersey, to come in, to make a difference, to build something. She wants to make her family proud, make her younger self proud, and take the program to new heights. And guys, I'd say that 6-year-old is very proud of her.
Well, Madison, you often want to leave a program behind better than when you first entered, and she has certainly done that.
She said she trusted the plan that Jamie had for this Texas A&M program. And man, that trust is important as Logan Lednicki and Casapala get a block. Largest lead for the Aggies here. If they win this set, it's over. They're champions. Playing to 25. O'Brien's been on the run all day. Helmuth readjusting, roll shot. On the Kentucky side. Thick pin on the right pin.
Really smart decision by Lizzie Carr to not try to attack on that overpass, but just to settle in, set the ball up so that O'Brien can go back to Asia Thigpen. And a good job pulling the block into the antenna.
That ends a 3-0 run for the Aggies. Afena Casapala, 7 kills.
Afena Casapala, we talk about her defense. She's got a powerful arm, but this ball sent a little bit low, and look at her adjust and send it deep and flat, and that throws the Kentucky defender off.
Kentucky's going to have to call a timeout here. It is their last timeout in this set. Texas A&M is up 17-11. Don't miss tomorrow's Monday Night Football matchup as the 49ers square off against the Colts at 8 Eastern on ABC and ESPN. ESPN2 will have data-driven look at the game. Coverage kicks off with Scott Van Pelt and the Monday Night Countdown crew at 6 Eastern. Back here in Kansas City, the NCAA Volleyball Championship. 2 SEC teams meeting for the very first time. Kentucky had to call timeout. They'll still have 1 timeout remaining. But the Cats have to win this set to extend the match as Texas A&M leads 2-0. The Aggies have never won a national championship. Afena Casapala with the serve.
Great pass.
Delay, blocked. No, got it up. Lednicki, kill.
Well, you can feel the sense of urgency in the Kentucky huddle. Coach Skinner said right now we're under-communicating in chaos when we need to do the opposite of that. And then he said we need to prioritize sighting out passers. I need you to fight to get that pass to the net.
Out of the middle. Emily Hellman.
To Madison's point, through Craig Skinner, both passes of the last 2 points have been great. Kentucky's just having a really hard time scoring against Texas A&M's defense.
So this will be Kentucky's final timeout of the set. Texas A&M is on a 6-1 run. It wasn't the start we were used to seeing from Texas A&M in that match, but they've talked about response all season. How have you seen them respond?
Well, it was a quick response. Kentucky had a strong start. A&M, probably the first 10 points, was a little behind, but then they came back with a vengeance and started rolling. And it starts with their defense. Their block defense put so much pressure on Kentucky, they were able to score.
Something that they have been so proud of all season, that block. And Jamie Morrison has had so much confidence in it. A historic season for Texas A&M. Their best regular season record since 1984. They had 9 sweeps in conference play. Not only made their first national semifinal appearance, made their first national championship appearance right here.
Well, you wondered how this group was going to fare on this big platform, this big stage, never having made it to a national semifinal. I was so impressed with the way that this group handled Thursday night. They came out and started so fast. They were clicking on all cylinders, not only dominating, but playing with a great sense of joy, Holly. Now, we saw a bit slower of a start. There was some disconnect. They were out of rhythm, but they found it very quickly. And they've just been so impressive throughout the entirety of this NCAA tournament.
Madison, Kentucky's got some work to do, down 8.
And Coach Skinner said we have one last chance here. Now we've got the passes, good passes to the net, but now we need to find ways to to score. Swing high, be aggressive.
See if they're able to do that here, Madison.
Hudson takes the pass. O'Brien reversing it back to the right side. Lizzie Carr camping at the net.
Exactly what Craig Skinner wanted. Good pass, swing high hands, heads up play by Lizzie Carr.
He walked to Logan Lednicki. Thigpen, they're trusting her right now, and A&M is called to the net.
Back-to-back points for Kentucky, and it starts with Asia Thigpen making things happen. A&M trying to chase and in the net defensively.
Tough right there. Kentucky had a little momentum, and it puts Texas A&M in the red zone. They're 5 points from a title. Megan Fitch in to serve. Taryn Morris in to block. What a swing. They're calling on Thigpen big time.
That had some pace to it. My goodness, great contact.
Cassie O'Brien knows who are her hot hitters. Look at Asia Thigpen work through the seam of that block, and that's arm speed.
60 miles per hour coming off her hand.
It's no wonder the ball ricocheted across the court and out of bounds. And just when it seems that Kentucky's taking a step forward here in this third set, they've shot themselves in the foot with back-to-back service errors.
Delay. One of the better swings we've seen from her today.
Definitely, we've seen Brooklyn Delay get better as the match goes on, but Kentucky's running out of time right now.
Perfect location on the set from Cassie O'Brien.
I think Perkins just floated in the air.
Her vertical is so impressive. The speed, the height of this set from walk is nails. And she's able to go wrist away to zone 5. Look at the height and the contact here to go inside Kennedy Washington.
Perfect pass for Kentucky. Hudson got hands and dropped it in.
Cassie O'Brien finding the tempo on her offense. Last 3 or 4 sets have the pace and the location for Kentucky to score.
They call on Trinity Ward now. Okay, dives. Casapala in the middle. Hudson tracking. Stowers. Blocked by Carr.
Huge close by Lizzie Carr, identifying that that ball was going out to the pin, getting all the way out to O'Brien. That's a point of play that can really create momentum for your team.
Monster blocks create monster momentum.
Stowers. She's up to 9 kills.
Kendall Stowers is so good at attacking the outside hand of the right side blocker, but she can hurt you fast in the seam too.
That's the pop from Eva Hudson they need.
Such a strong 4-to-4 shot. That cross-court angle is so hard to defend because it gets to that spot so quickly.
Patty walk to Stowers. National championship point, Texas A&M. Jump set to Eva Hudson. And a second championship point coming for the Aggies.
Aggies did exactly what they wanted to do. Aggressive serve, got Kentucky out of system, but Hudson able to score off the block.
Now they need her to go on a run behind the service line. Long championship point number 3. Stowers walk up to Lednicki. Gotta go over. It does. Casapella. Aggies for the very first time are national champions.